In this screencast, we're going to go over some of the different ways you can control the movie playback in a project in Sports Tech GameBreaker. I'll go ahead and double click on a project that I've already created on my desktop here, and that will launch Sports Tech GameBreaker as well as open the project. So if we look at the movie zone, which again is the top left area here of the project window, you'll notice that if I hover my mouse over the movie zone, the floating movie controls show up here at the bottom of it. So there's two basic ways we can control the playback of the movie, and one is to use the mouse or trackpad and click on buttons in order to control the playback, and the other way is to use the shortcut keys on the keyboard. So this is pretty straightforward, but if you simply click on play and pause here, that will advance you or pause you in the movie. I can click on this button here one at a time to advance me frame by frame. I can single click on these double arrows, which will advance me at 2 times the speed, which you can see right here. 2 times normal speed, I should say. Then if I pause that, similarly these buttons will move me backwards frame by frame, or I can single click to move in reverse 2 times speed, and single click again to move at 4 times speed. So I'll go ahead and pause the movie there. Another way to move around the video is to simply just click and drag the diamond on the playback controls, and you can see the movie reacts accordingly, as does the playhead in the timeline at the bottom of the project window. So if I drag this towards the end, and this is just the first half of the game, you can see that when I press play and it reaches the end of the movie here, it just stops. But if I want the movie to loop or repeat at the beginning when it reaches the end, let me move this back, I can just simply click on this button here, and that tells the movie to loop at the end. So again, if we play it, and I'll just keep my arrow on the playback controls to make them visible, you see that when the diamond reached the end there, now it just started looping and playing at the beginning of the movie again. So you can control that just by single clicking on the loop button there. If I single click on this pencil icon on the left side of the movie controls, it just simply toggles on and off or hides and reveals the drawing toolbar. You can see it there on the left. And the button here on the right of the playback controls will throw the movie full screen if I single click on it, and click on it again to return to the normal view. And if the movie's playing and I do the same thing, it will just continue to play at that point. So that's how you can use the mouse or trackpad to drive the movie. But if you want to use some of the shortcut keys, they're listed here under the movie menu, where if, for example, you wanted to move forward frame by frame, this symbol here is option and right arrow, or backwards frame by frame would be option left arrow on the keyboard. Fast forward would be command right, and rewind would be command left, and you can also control the loop here and go full screen. So that would look something like this. If I move the mouse off of the movie zone, although it doesn't matter where it is, I can use the space bar to play and the space bar to pause. I can press option and the right arrow key together, and you can see that moves me frame by frame to the right. Option left arrow will move me backwards frame by frame. If I hold command right, that will advance me at 2 times speed. Press it again, there's 4 times speed. Space bar to pause, and similarly command left arrow, rewind at 2 times speed. Command left arrow again, rewind at 4 times speed. And space bar to pause again. And the last useful thing in terms of controlling the playback that might be worth noting is that the floating movie controls here on the movie zone are floating. They're movable. So in this case, there's a lot of extra dead space up here where the fans are, so I can just move the playback controls there, or really anywhere that makes sense for me. Remember, if I move my mouse off of the movie controls and leave it idle for a few minutes, you can see that those eventually disappear. If I want the playback controls to always be visible, I can go to the Sports Tech Game Breaker menu here, go to Preferences, and then just check this box that makes those controls always visible. So come back here, and now if I leave my mouse idle, you can see that those stay, and even if I move my mouse to other zones in the project window, the movie playback controls will stay. So I hope that gives you an easy idea of how to control the movies in Sports Tech Game Breaker. Thanks for watching.